Hello, welcome to IBFU. I'm Coach, and I be fed up. Today, I'm going to talk about school shootings, and I'm going to do a series on the school shootings, and I will cover several of the shootings individually, that particular shooting, and some of the things around those shootings. But first, I want to talk about an overview of school shootings and why I be so fed up with the school shootings and what goes on around them. So, first thing that happens is you have a school shooting, and all these just everybody comes out and they want to take away everybody's guns. And especially if there was a AR-15 or an AK-47 used, then it's all the guns are evil and you got to take all the guns away. Well, first off, let's look at it logic. I've I've got quite a few guns in my house. Uh, I got a gun that's on my hip all the time when I go out. I mean, I got a gun on me. I got guns in the house, and there's not a one of my guns has ever loaded itself, aimed it at somebody, and shot somebody. The gun has nothing to do with it. It's the people. It's the people involved. And I'd be fed up with the school shootings because I happen to know that 100% of school shootings were 100% preventable. Oh my God. You can't say that, Coach? Yes, I can. And I can say that because 100% of our school shootings would not happen if the adults who are charged both ethically, morally, and legally charged with in loco parentis, or in absence of the parents, you're responsible for taking care of the child in absence of their parent. You are their parent while they're in your care. So when they walk through the doors of school, they're the teachers, the principals, the custodians, the secretaries, all the way up to the district office and the superintendent. They're all responsible for taking care of those children. And almost without exception, the school shootings, if you asked the people on campus, the adults on campus, what steps they have in place to prevent a school shooting, and their answer will be almost without fail, oh, that'll never happen here. Well, that's the wrong attitude. The attitude should be, it will absolutely happen here. And not only will it happen here, but today is the day. And they got to have that mindset to protect the children. And they have to take steps ahead of time. If you set your campus up and you do the precautions that should be done to take care of your children that's in your care, Mr. Building Principal and Superintendent, you do what you should do, and there is no way somebody can go to the school with an AR-15, walk through the doors of the school, and go into classrooms and start shooting people. You just got to set it up right. And, we had you had them everywhere, different states and And when you look at it, you find that in almost all of the cases, adults, FBI, police, they knew this person was a danger of doing a school shooting, and they did not do their job. They didn't do their job, and the kids that they were supposed to take care of died. And it's their fault. The superintendent should have every building that has students in it in their district. The superintendent should have it analyzed and take the measures to make the school where a shooter cannot get inside the school. And it's really not as hard as you think it is. So, all right, I went to work for school district. I was in the school system for 20 years. I went in the school district, went to work, been there a couple of weeks, and I looked, I said, and I looked up at another teacher across the hall. I said, who is this? She said, oh, that's so and so. He's probably up here just to see his friends. Okay, so I go over to him and I ask him, I said, excuse me, sir, where's your visitor's pass? Well, I don't have one. I'm just going to see so and so. And, he's right down in the hall here in his class, and I'm just going to see him for a minute. I said, all right, well, let's go get you a visitor's pass so that people like me don't bother you, right? So I walk him down to the office. When we go into the office, I said, ask the secretary here. She said, well, let me see your driver's license. Because we had a system where to get your visitor's pass, you had to get a driver's license. I mean, give your driver's license. They stick it in the thing. And if it comes up that you are have warrants out on you, or you're a convicted felon, or you're, all these other things, then you're not allowed to be on campus. It pops up. And he says, what do you need my driver's license for? He said, well, we just got to make sure we know who's here. So he says, that's all right. I'll just see him after school. I said, well, and he starts to leave. And I said, well, hold on a minute. So I called our resource officer. We had a police officer on campus all the time. And I said, well, let's let him walk out with you so people won't bother you. All right. So the police officer, comes over, and I said, well, he's going to leave as opposed to giving his driver's license. Of course, the resource officer knew exactly what I was talking about. So he walks him out, makes sure he gets in his car, make sure he leaves campus. So as I go back down the hall, I go and I asked the lady that I had asked who he was before. And I said, so who is this guy? And so she tells me his name. And I said, so why is he here? Oh, he knows all these kids. He used to go to school here. He's been out of school 4 or 5 years. And I think he just got out of prison, and he's just up here seeing some of his buddies. And I said, oh, okay. So he just got out of prison, and he's coming up here to see his buddies. Why was he in prison? I'm not sure. It was something about a drug deal that went bad, and he shot somebody or something. And I said, okay, so we got a drug dealer that shot somebody and went to prison and just got out, and you think that it's okay for him to walk down our halls? Well, he knows all these kids. I don't care. A convicted felon that went to prison for shooting somebody does not need to be on our campus. And that's why you have school shootings, because people just, nothing like that ever happens around here until it does. And then they're, oh, I'm so shocked. Well, take precautions. Make it so that they cannot get in the building. And it's not really that difficult to do. F school district in Texas that decided they wanted to protect their children. So the superintendent called somebody he knew, used to be with the CIA. He went set up security systems and embassies and different places all over the world. And he asked him to come tell them what it took to secure their building and make sure their kids were safe. He come in, he went through every campus. He did, he searched everything. He went through, he did this and this, and he come up and he said, okay, this is what you need to do. You need to do these things. And he gave him a list. 1, 2, 3, 4, write down a list. And the cost will be $43 million. So superintendent said, well, we don't have that kind of money, so we're going to put it in a bond. Well, if you're not familiar with bonds, when you put it in a bond, it goes on the ballot the next election. When it goes on the ballot, the people in the district have to vote yes or no on the bond. Okay. Now, when they vote no, yes, their taxes go up to pay for the bond. So it has to be voted on by the residents because it's going to cause their taxes to go up. People said, man, nobody's going to pass that. $43 million. Past 90% of the people voted yes. They didn't even think about it. Yes, protect my children. Protect our children. Protect our community. I'm reminded. My son was about 10 years old when we're in the bank. He pulls on my, said, Dad, what is that thing over there? I said, well, that's the vault. And he said, the vault? I said, yeah. He said, that's where they keep all the money. I said, yeah. And he said, well, I don't understand. I said, well, what don't you understand? He said, they got all these pins and they got them chained down. And I said, well, that's so nobody can steal them. He said, but they got the vault door with all the money in it standing wide open. And this is a 10-year-old. Okay, I mean, he saw that was just ludicrous. But adults with college degrees, and in most cases, master's level and doctorate level at their administrative level in schools. And they don't ever make the connection of protecting the children. You've got to make it so people can't get in. Now, later, I'm going to have some other ones. I'm going to go through some individual school shootings and the mistakes that were made by adults. And, I'm going to probably get some flack for this, but I'm going to tell you there are some really ludicrous things that were, I would say, done, but it was things that were not done. And because they were not done, our children died. So you stay tuned for that because you're going to find some of them very interesting. Thanks for listening today. I'm Coach, and I be fed up.